they're countless. We all wish to be in a show someday. I hope so. God willing, that happens.
Quite a lot of them, so you're most welcome.
I knew that, of course it is. And I just would like you to share some experience with us, because we all been dying. I think all these people are not even here for this pageant. They're here for Lara Dutta. Which is
Lara Dutta wouldn't be here if it wasn't for this pageant. So
wow! Ye record kar diya jaye, lock kar diya jaye. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Means a lot. I want everyone to know that this year Lara, some gossip, okay? Inside news actually, not gossip. She even went and met the Miss Universe organization herself to understand what is happening with our country, and we would like you to share some dope inside news on that. Over to you, Lara. Is it okay if you can all capture her this side? Is that good? Is there light here? Thank you, Lara.
Thank you.
All yours.
Thanks. Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Our bloggers, our photographers, our media people, some of our past winners that are here. So Natasha told you that I've been gracious enough to associate with them, but it's quite a different story because they won't really actually give me much of a choice. So this is my 4th year of association with Yamaha Fasino Miss Diva. And I think for me, the primary reason that I continue to be associated and really strive and work very hard with the organization to look for girls throughout the country is because of the immense pride and joy. I have to say, it's being a little selfish, but it gives me an incredible sense of achievement to be able to spend these 3 or 4 weeks with these girls that come in from all across the country, 90% of them extremely raw, not exposed to any kind of glamour industry ever before, but to be able to share with them or impart to them something that I feel is a life lesson that will go far beyond just winning a pageant on a stage, whether it is domestic or international. So it is about empowering women, giving them the opportunity and the freedom and applauding them for having an independent thought, for being able to express it. So not just about being, you know, a pretty looking face with a great body, because everybody who comes to us is primarily between the ages of 17 to 23, and all the girls who enter are obviously very young, they're all very pretty, they all have great bodies, they're all thin, you know, so the hard business of finding a beautiful representative isn't about what they look like. It's about what they become once you're done with presenting them to the world as a Times product, as a diva. So, you know, people always ask, why Miss Diva? You know, diva is associated with a little bit of a negative connotation. Normally a diva is somebody who throws her weight around, you know, keeps the media waiting for hours on end, shows up and, you know, says no comments. But I think today's new age diva has completely and totally been redefined. So today a new age diva is a woman who walks into the room and owns that room the minute that she steps in there. That's the woman that you can't take your eyes off. You want to know what she has to say. You want to know who she is. And that's a diva. And that's the girl that we're looking for today. That's the kind of woman that we want to represent. We want representing India on an international stage. So I have a pretty hard job cut out for me as mentor to these girls. But like I said, it's extremely fulfilling. I have some winners, you'll meet them in a short while. They have their own journeys to share, so you'll hear it from them firsthand as to how this pageant has changed their minds. But I just want to share, Natasha said that earlier this year I actually flew to New York and met with the president of the Miss Universe organization, and I asked her the same question that every single Indian has been asking me for the last 17 years. What happened? Why aren't we winning any contests anymore? You know, so at one point of time, India was the superpower when it came to beauty pageants. We had innumerable Miss Worlds, one after the other. We had 2 Miss Universes in a span of 7 years. And then suddenly everything sort of just came to a grinding halt. You know, it just seemed we couldn't place, we couldn't get into the top 10, our girls weren't figuring anywhere. And then it just became you know, like a mundane year after year after year where everybody stopped even paying attention to who was Miss India. Nobody knew because she was going international, she wasn't placing anywhere, she was coming back, and then the next year before you knew it, there was another Miss India and another Miss India, and it was the same fate. You know, so what was going wrong? What was it that we were doing differently that seemed to work earlier and didn't work now? And in quite a nutshell, nothing really. So it's just an international pageant is subject to so many different factors. As Natasha explained to you, there are countries who have waited 63 and 42 years to get a winner and a crown back to their countries again. And I'd just like to say the achievement that India has made where pageants are concerned internationally, I think after Venezuela and Philippines now, we're standing as one of the top 3 countries in the terms of the way women have performed internationally. And that is a huge achievement.
Yeah, let's give it up for that.
That is a huge achievement. So today, what is the reason that we've actually had this press conference? Why are we having the bloggers here? Why do we have the media here? It's not about to blow the trumpet again and say, oh, this is another, you know, media side of a launch for a Miss Diva. It's to really send a message out there that we can't do this without y'all. We can't find the girls across the country without your help. And we need you to help us in our endeavors to take this out to as many people across the country, to help people understand what is the process of getting a winner out there on the international stage. And until and unless we have young women come forward and participate, we're not going to be able to do that. Because one of the biggest challenges that we face year on year is the talent pool is just getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Today, girls don't see it as, oh, you know, I mean, it's been 17 years, no one's ever won, I don't think it's ever going to happen again, so if I go through this and I don't win, you know, all that hard work in vain. But the fact of the matter is you have to understand that it goes so much more beyond just winning at an international pageant. So the kind of experience that you're getting, the kind of world that this opens up to you, you will not get this anywhere else. Trust me, I've been in this business for 22 years, 17 as a Miss Universe. You will not get this kind of experience in any field, no matter where you venture out. The kind of training, the kind of confidence that is instilled in you to then go out and conquer whatever field that you might want to go into. So why did we start off and make Miss Diva a separate property? There was always Femina Miss India. I was a Femina Miss India. Priyanka was my runner-up. Dia was the second runner-up. So there was one contest. But why change it? Why move and create Miss Femina, Yamaha Casino, Miss Diva, Miss Universe India? Because the requirements of each individual pageant internationally are completely different. What does a Miss Universe do in her year? Natasha told you that I gave them a bit of a hard time and bent some rules and refused to do certain things that Times wanted me to do. Trust me, they weren't the only ones. I think I was one of the most rebellious Miss Universes that the Miss Universe organization ever had. I refused to sit in cars and wave at parades. That's not the reason that I busted my chops to really land where I was. The reason that I had to spend a year away from my family with nobody around me in Mr. Donald Trump's fancy Trump building that I hardly ever saw because I was on the road 330 days of the year. So I didn't want, that was not my choice. I hadn't gone through all of that to sit and wave at parades as a beauty queen in a sash and a crown. And I refused to do it. So what did they get me to do? They sent me out to the Harvard's AIDS Institute in Boston to address the scientists that have actually found the AIDS virus and tell them what I thought about the HIV/AIDS crisis in sub-Saharan Africa. What else did I do? They sent me to Senegal to address the UN Global Youth Conference on what the AIDS crisis was in India at that point of time. So you really came out where they throw you off the deep end and you either sink or swim. So to give you in a nutshell, the new Miss Universe, Miss France, recently attended an event with a senator from the United States where she actually got him to commit to his vote to a bill that is being passed in legislature in the US regarding HIV/AIDS. So these are the kind of things, that is the kind of advocacy we're talking about. It's not about just wearing a crown and, you know, shooting various campaigns and endorsing various products. The girls really need to be very, very strong vocally. And that's the kind of girl that we're looking for, and therefore Diva was created to just move the kind of spotlight on what was required from being a beauty queen that normally was associated with being very soft, very gentle, working on children's issues, you know, things that were just, I would say, I'm not saying they're flat, but I'm saying what I'm saying is that they were a little bit more softer in approach. And Miss Universe is not soft. She's very ballsy, she's very vocal. And those are the kind of girls that we're trying to create and find in this country.